You go up to your custom menu now that we've turned it on, and you have a whole bunch of different menu options in here. We're going to start with menu A. And again, my camera is already set up, but we're still going to go through all the options and show you what I feel is a good setup. You may not agree. You may have a different shooting style. You may shoot a completely different genre of imaging than I do. I'm a commercial photographer. I do a lot of nature and macro for myself, though. I do a lot of studio work as well, so a lot of my options are set up kind of for how I like the camera to function. But we'll go over why and what some of those options mean so you'll know how to set it for yourself. So let's go ahead and dive in with custom menu A. So, autofocus mode. Still pictures and for movies. This is how your autofocus works. You can also set this from the super control panel, which we'll get to later. I set mine to single autofocus and manual focus. But this will be changing based on what scenarios you're in and how you need to shoot. Movie, I leave that on manual focus. Again, if I'm shooting video, I'm probably doing a very staged shot. I leave it on manual focus. What you do with video may be completely different. Full-time autofocus is the next menu option, which is grayed out due to some other options. I keep that turned off. That means the camera will continuously try to autofocus based on everything it sees. It drives me nuts. I'm sure it'll drive you nuts as well. So I keep that on off. AEL, AFL. During single autofocus, it's how do you want this to work. Basically, this allows you to set the shutter on a different button than the actual shutter button. And we'll demonstrate that later. Mode 1 is default. That's the camera focuses and locks exposure based on your shutter button and where it's pressed. And then you can lock your automatic exposures by pressing the AFL button. I set mine to mode 3, so I use a custom button to do my focusing, and then my shutter button is only just taking the picture and locking exposure in that moment. I prefer it that way. It's like using the back star button on a Canon or Nikon. Again, you set it where you like, so we're just going to keep on going through a few of these. Understand that your preferences may vary from mine. Reset lens, I keep that on off. Bulb time focusing, I keep this option off. If I'm using a bulb or a time setting, I most likely do not want it being able to autofocus during that time or between shots. Focus ring, I like mine counterclockwise as opposed to clockwise. I'm just used to that from Canon lenses. If you're a Nikon shooter, you might like it clockwise. Manual focus assist. Magnify, I keep mine set to on. Peaking, I keep set to off. I keep peaking off because I like a faster frame rate option on, and we'll get to that option later. If you love peaking, feel free to turn that option on, but you will lose out on some other options I think are a lot more useful later. Okay, set home. I like this on the small option, center. And this lets you jump to that focus point at any time if you set a custom button to it. I'm always using the smallest focal point, and I like the center one as my base. So I have that set there. Autofocus illumination light, I leave that to on. Base priority gives you some different options. I leave face detect off generally. Autofocus area pointer, this shows me where I was focusing after the fact. When you're reviewing a photo, I leave that on. CAF lock, I use this for tracking. This is in terms of avoidance of objects that come in between your subject and the lens while you're tracking something or doing continuous autofocus, like a tree branch or somebody runs through. It won't automatically jump. This controls how quickly it'll avoid things like that, or how quickly you'll change focus to something else that interferes. I leave this on high for my testing. Your mileage may vary. Again, you have off, low, normal, high. I leave mine on high. Manual focus clutch, I leave mine on operative. This is so you can do the snap ring focus, where you pull the focus ring back and then you can do a manual focus. Operative makes it stay on. So that's menu A.